Good morning. Come onto your back for today's practice. And we'll be starting here centering on our backs. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Equally weight your pelvis, right and left. Notice your breath. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, go ahead, or you can keep them open. Follow your inhalation. With each breath you draw in, you're bringing vitality and life into you. What you breathe in goes further than just into your lungs. It's actually cellular respiration. And the breath nourishes every cell in the body. As you exhale, it's the waste products from this cellular respiration leaving. Take a couple more breaths, recognizing this vital force that you're bringing in through the inhalation and the cleanup work that's happening on your exhalation. Place your hands at your heart. Offer gratitude for your vital breath. And then release your hands and open your eyes. Draw your right knee into your chest, give it a good hug in, and stretch your left leg out on the mat. Press down through your left heel, spread your toes. Take another breath. And now fold your left leg, put your right foot on the ground, draw your left knee into your chest, stretch your right leg out on the mat. Press down to your right heel and spin your right inner thigh towards the earth. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on the floor, place your left foot on the floor. Cross your right leg over into figure 4, toes are spread, and on the exhale, draw your left knee into your chest. Wrap your hands around your left thigh bone. And as you spread your toes, move your right inner knee away from you as you draw your left knee to chest and resist with your left thigh bone by pushing your left thigh bone into your hand. Relax your shoulders, soften your face. Next breath, left foot down on the ground, uncross the right. Cross over the left into figure 4. On an exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Wrap your hands around your right thigh bone. Keep spreading your toes. Press your right thigh bone away. Move your left inner knee away. And then use both hands loosely clasping behind your right thigh to resist the push of the right leg away. Soft-faced, relaxed shoulders. Next breath, release your right foot down. Stretch your legs out long on your mat. So stretch out long. On an in-breath, reach your arms up and over your head as you press down through your heels and spread your toes. On the exhale, bring your arms down by your side. One more time, arms up and over your head. Exhale your arms down by your side. Reach up and over your head, grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Tip over to the right. In-breath to center, exhale, release your arms. Big breath up, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. Tip left with your torso. Keep pressing your heels down, backs of the legs down, and reaching from pelvis to feet. In-breath, come to center. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, take a big breath up over your head again. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. This time, walk both feet a little bit over to the right and then squeeze your legs together. So your both feet, both legs have moved to the right corner of your yoga mat. Keeping your legs squeezing together and your heels and the backs of your legs pressing down. Breathe, and on your next breath, tip your torso to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, release your arms, walk your feet back to center. Inhale, big breath up, arms overhead. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. Walk both legs, both feet a little bit left. So left corner of the mat is where your legs are pointing towards. Breathe, and as you press down through your heels and reach from your pelvis to your feet, tip your torso to the left. Keep squeezing your legs together, and on an inhale, come back to center. Release your arms down by your side. Walk your feet back into neutral. Bend both knees, place both feet flat on the floor. Open your arms out to a T. Squeezing your legs together, drop your knees to the right. Squeeze your bottom leg into your top leg, return to center. Drop both knees to the left. Squeeze your bottom leg into your top leg, use an inhale, and return to center. One more time each direction, dropping into a twist with bent knees. From your heart through your fingertips, reach out, second side, last time. Stay with your breath. Keep reaching from heart to fingertips. All right, once you're back at center, bring your arms down by your side. Space your feet about the width of your sitting bones and your frontal hip bones. Swallow, soften your eyes. And now as you press into your feet, push down into the palms of your hands, which are down alongside of you. Press into your arms and the head of your arm bones and the base of your skull. Using the foundation of your feet, your arms, your head of your arm bones and the base of your skull, lift your pelvis up into bridge. On your next exhale, lower your pelvis down. Push with your feet and your arms and lightly with your skull again to lift your pelvis up into bridge. Exhale, lower it down. Swallow. Extend from your soft upper palate to your tail to lift your hips up. Continue to breathe and reach out through the crown of your head as you lower your pelvis down. One more time, up and down, dynamic bridge. The next time your pelvis is on the mat, draw your knees to your chest. Pick a side to roll to and come up into all fours position, please, hands and knees. So hands and knees on the mat, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath your pelvis. Breathe. On your next exhale, round your spine like a cat. Imagine a tent pole going right up where your belly button is so that your head and your tail drop at the same time. And now reverse it, moving from the center of the belly button so that head and tail move at the same time. One more time. Tent pole rising through the middle, head and tail drop. Push with your hands to open your upper back. And then pull your heart forward by pulling your hands back towards your pelvis. Come to neutral pelvis, neutral spine, just changing the sequencing, what's leading the movement. So differentiating, moving from your tail first, so your head's gonna stay still until the very last moment. Bring yourself into cat pose. So tail tucks, let your upper back round last, right? So it's gonna be low back, mid back, then upper back, then your head will drop in. Now keep your head down. Move from your tail first to go into cow. Ready? Tail lifts, lumbars go into a little bit more of their natural curve. Heart starts moving forward. Claw with your hands to pull the heart forward, and eventually you look up. Keep this move from your tail to return to cat. So head still looking up, head still looking up, head still looking up until the very last moment when you're really pushing with your hands and you're like, I have to drop my head now into cat. I got to go there. And then come into neutral here, neutral spine, neutral pelvis. All right, so now let's lead the last one with our head. All right, so let's start with head looking up. So claw with your hands. First, move your eyes. So if you moved your head first, try moving your eyes first. Eyes look up at your eyebrows. And as if you're trying to look up for something, start tracking the eyes higher to the sky. Pull your heart forward to get it. Move through thoracic spine, lumbars, and eventually stick your butt out. Moving the head first, eyes look down, head drops. Move it through the upper back now. Mid back, low back, eventually tail tucks. Eyes look up to your eyebrows. Track across your floor, up towards your ceiling. You'll feel when you've got to move through the heart. Pull with your hands to pull your heart forward. Let it ripple down your spine into a back bend. Eyes down, head first. Keep the rest of it still until you have to move it. Once your head goes down, you can feel it's time to start really pushing with the hands to broaden, expand the back into the lumbars, and eventually your tail tucks. Nice job differentiating between those three movements. Come into neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Kneeling on your left knee, step your right foot back, toes tucked under. I'm just going to turn sideways, toes tucked under. Lift your right leg up in the air. I am cueing right, left. I am practicing right, left. Take your right leg across the midline and touch it to the ground. Good, and then pick it right back up and return it to the earth. Second leg steps back, left leg steps back. Lift your left leg up, cross the midline, touch it to the earth. Pick your long left leg up, fold your left knee and return it to the ground. First side again, right leg back, right inner thigh, lift your right leg. Keep reaching from the core of your pelvis through your right heel, and then reach your right leg across the midline and land your right big toe ball joint on the ground. Now push from your right outer hip to your right outer heel. Walk both hands a little bit over to the left. Come down onto your left forearm. Immediately your left forearm is in what's called forearm plank. So it's pushing strongly, so you turn on your left oblique system. Crawl your right hand out on a diagonal, so you've moved into a lateral bend. And as you push down with your left forearm, turn your left ribs open and peek under your right armpit. I apologize if the audio is getting strange because I'm moving quite a bit and the mic is moving. So bear with me, we'll have a new mic soon. Walk your right hand back towards you, push with your left forearm, lengthen both arms. Once you have your hands underneath your shoulders, uncross your right leg, fold your right leg back to fours. Breathe, step your left leg back. Before you move your leg and cross the midline, first tone it by pushing into your left big toe ball joint. And then with a strong left inner thigh, pick your left leg up, cross the midline with your left leg, and then put your left big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint on the ground and push. So from your pelvis to your left foot, strong action. Feeling the muscle hugging onto the bone on your left leg. Walk both hands over to the right. They don't have to go far, just a little bit, so you start to get a lateral bend. Come down onto your right forearm. As soon as your forearm comes down, claw with your right hand, press from the wrist to the elbow on your right arm. So you're in a forearm plank on the right hand. Feel how that tones your right underside waist. And then work your left arm out into extension. As you continue to press with your right forearm, spin your right ribs open so that you can peek underneath your left armpit. Breathe. Keep pushing with your right arm down, push with your left foot, walk your left hand back in, press with both hands, come back into all fours with the hands, uncross the midline with the left leg, back to fours with the knees. Shift your hips back towards your heels, work your hands forward. So you're in child's pose, balasana. In breath, come up into fours. We'll do that 2 more times. Shift the pelvis back towards the heels, stretch your arms long. 1 more time, up to fours, back to child's pose, balasana. Last time, move with your breath. All right, keeping both hands underneath your shoulder girdle, right? So pointer finger, thumb are the outer width of your shoulders, knees are underneath your pelvis. Push with your left hand, open your right arm out to a T, and then thread your right arm through. So you're threading through, come down onto your right side of your head. You're landing on the side of your skull somewhere on the diagonal of your right ear tip. Do you feel any pressure or discomfort in your neck? Please get a pillow and put it underneath your head or a blanket. Now push down with your right arm. So your head should be touching the ground. If it's not, please prop to have your head on the ground. From your right shoulder to the back of your right fingers, push down with your right arm and reach out. Lift your left elbow tip up to the ceiling and be in ridge tops on your left hand, so you're building wrist strength. Step your left leg back behind you, toes tucked under, left leg long. From the power and strength of your left leg firming the muscle onto the bone, lift your left leg up. Extend your left arm to the sky as the option. I know I saw some of you guys get up like, what are we doing? You've done this before. Left hand down, left leg down, fold your left leg, push with your left hand, push with your right, untwist. All right, threading the needle, second side, there's lots of places to stop. So push with your right hand, bring your left arm out to a T. You're back in all fours with the left arm out in a T. On the next exhale, thread your left arm through. Take a couple of breath cycles now. And adjust your head. You should be able to breathe and swallow easily. That's how you know you're in a good position for your head. If your head is not touching the ground, please grab a pillow or a blanket and put it underneath your head until your head rests easily. So you're on the base of you're on the side of your skull, just off the diagonal of your ear tip. Push down through your left arm and reach. Lift your right elbow tip up to the ceiling and be on ridge tops in your right hand. Step your right leg back behind you, toes tucked under. Strong right leg. Firm the muscle to the bone to pick your right leg up in the air. Option is to extend your right arm up as well. Breathe. Next breath, right hand down, right leg down. Both knees folded, knees on the mat. Push with your hands to untwist. Back to all fours position. Round your spine like a cat. Lift your tail, lift your head. Cow pose. One more time, cat, cow. Come to neutral pelvis, neutral spine, neutral head. Kneeling on your left knee, pressing down with your right hand. Extend your right leg back behind you, toes tucked. Extend your left arm forward. Lift and lengthen your right leg to pick it up in the air. So right leg is up, left arm is up. Both are extending from the pelvis to your right heel. Reach from your right side of your pelvis to your left shoulder, to your left fingers. Extend. On an exhale, round like a cat. Knee to forehead, left arm comes in. In breath, extend out into the cross crawl position. And then on an exhale, round like a cat. Just one more time. Breathe. After this last one, knee to the mat, hand to the mat. Back to all fours. Check the placement of your hands. Pointer, finger, and thumb, outer width of shoulder, knees beneath pelvis. Breathe. Left leg steps back, toes tucked. Tone the left leg by pushing from core of the pelvis to left foot. Extend your right arm. Lift your left leg and breathe. On your next exhale, round like a cat, elbow, forehead, knee coming together. In breath, reach out. Two more times. Connect it to your breath. Last one. Release your right hand to the mat. After this one, left knee down, back to fours. Walk your hands a full handprint forward. Shift your pelvis back to your heels as you tuck your toes. Press up and back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Tip your sitting bones just a little bit higher to the sky, and then reach through your tail towards your heels to lift and tone your belly so that your belly and your ribs are not drooping down. They're actually toned and lifted. As you stay with your breath, go from the bottom of your heart and stretch long through your fingertips. Move from the bottom of your heart and stretch long from your pelvis down to your heels. So you can lengthen your legs any amount. Take 2 more breaths here. And now walk your hands and your feet towards one another until you land in your feet. Once you're in a forward fold, Uttanasana, bend your knees. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Extend your spine and bring your head into neutral. So you're holding a flat back position. Now really push from your pelvis to your feet to in-breath and come up to standing. Walk to the top of your mat. All right, good morning and upright. Take a big breath up. Exhale, hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. 2 more times, reach out, take it big. Draw it into center. 1 more time. So we're gonna play a little bit in today's practice as well. So connected to our vital breath and being incredibly playful. Release your arms down by your side and then hold on to your pelvis. Stand in your left foot, step your right foot back for a high lunge. So back heel is lifted. Move your ribs and your belly and your shoulders back over top of your pelvis. Use your legs strongly by pulling your back leg forward, and as you press down with your front heel, pull it back. So the legs are scissoring together. On an in-breath, raise your arms up. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand, and we're tipping to the left. We're tipping towards the bent knee leg side. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Hands to your pelvis. You know, when you grab your pelvis, squeeze in. A hug to the midline helps you stay stable. Push strongly with your left foot. Step your right foot forward. Release your arms down by your side. 3 big breaths up. Here we go. 3 in a row. Hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Do it again. Last one. Release your arms down by your side. Place your hands on your pelvis. Stand in your right foot. Left leg back, high lunge. Bring yourself right on top of you. So ribs back, chest back, shoulders back. Staying stacked. In breath, raise your arms up big. Keep pulling your feet towards one another. So weight your front heel well, inner and outer edge, and then pull it back. Push with your big toe ball joint and pull it forward. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, tipping to the right. In breath and come up. Exhale, release your arms. Hands to your pelvis. Squeeze your hands onto your pelvis. Push with your right foot to swing your left foot forward. Inhale, big breath up. Open your arms out to a T. Right arm into the midline, left arm underneath. The mic gets weird when I cross my arms, so bear with me. On your next exhale, drop your head down, chin towards chest. Just breathe here with your head dropped. Inhale, lift your head up. Open your arms out wide. Exhale your arms down. Big breath up again. Arms to a T. Left arm in. Right arm underneath. Breathe. Expand from the back of your heart to your elbow tips, and on an exhale, chin to chest. Just keep your head down and breathe. Next in-breath, lift your head back up, open your arms out wide, exhale them down by your side. Hands to your pelvis, right foot back, high lunge. In-breath, raise your arms up, open them out to a T. Right arm in, left arm underneath, breathe. Next breath, arms open wide. Release them down by your side, hands to your pelvis, step forward, left leg back. Big breath. Arms to a T. Left arm in. right arm underneath. Breathe. Open your arms out wide, release them down, push with your right foot, swing forward with your left. Big breath up. Exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana, step back to down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Bring your knees to the mat, lower all the way down. Inhale up, Bhujangasana. Exhale, return to the mat. Push up to fours. Press back to down dog. Breathe. Walk your hands and your feet towards one another. Land in your feet, bend your knees, bring your hands to your pelvis. Inhale and rise. Exhale and release your arms down by your side. Stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, take a big breath up. Open your arms out to a T, right arm into the midline, left arm underneath, breathe. And as you exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Next breath, round your spine. Bring your head, your elbows closer to your knees through spinal flexion. Think cat pose. Does your head need to drop more? Does your tail need to drop more? Do you need to lift your belly more? What needs to happen? Remember the warm up. Where can you ask for more movement, more breath in this moment to get the shape of spinal flexion? Extend your heart forward, push with your feet, rise tall, release your arms down by your side. Inhale, big breath up, arms out to a T. This time left arm in, second side, right arm underneath. Expand from the back of your heart to your elbow tips. And as you stay steady in your legs by spreading your toes, squeezing your shins in, moving your thighs apart, have a seat like you're going down in a chair. Next exhale, round your spine like a cat. Your head will drop down, your elbows and your forehead will come closer to your knees. Breathe. Now to take deeper spinal flexion, where can you send the breath? Where are things tight in the back body? Extend your heart forward, long spine, rise tall, release your arms down by your side. All right, bring your hands to your pelvis. Step your right foot back, high lunge. Inhale, big breath up. You know what's coming? Anybody got it? Arms to a T, right arm to the midline, left arm underneath. Move from the back of your heart to your elbow tip. Now, you got to scissor your legs strongly together. Push down through your front heel and pull back. Push with your back foot and pull forward. On your next exhale, round your spine. Turn your belly towards your left knee, belly to left knee, and then flex your spine, bringing your forehead and your elbow tips closer to your left knee. So you're going into cat pose with eagle arms in a lunge. Steady breath. You're just playing here. We're having a playful practice. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Step your right foot forward. How'd you do? Did you think of it like playing? I hope so. Here we go. Second side. Left leg back. Putting fun shapes together. Reach your arms up. Open them out to a T. Left arm in. Right arm underneath. Stay with your breath. Now, you know the pulling in of your legs, pulling towards the midline is going to keep you steady here. So pull both feet towards one another. But at the same time, from your pelvis through your legs, push back out. From the back of your heart to your elbow tips, expand as well. And now turn your belly button towards your right knee. Keep that slight rotation, and on an exhale, forward fold. You are flexing your spine. You are taking a cat shape. That was what all those cats were about in the warm-up. Drop your head in. Breathe. Extend your heart forward, reach your tail back. In breath and come up. Unleash the arms. Hold on to your pelvis. Push with your right foot. Swing your left foot forward. Take a big breath up. You did it. You played. Exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana, back to the familiar. Step back to down dog. Bend your knees. Tip your sitting bones high. Keep reaching from your tail to your heels so that your belly and your ribs tone and lift rather than fall. Keep the lift of your armpits up as you push down with your hands. And now from the bottom of your heart, through your pelvis to your heels, reach. Breathe. Just beneath your heart in your physical body sits the respiratory diaphragm. So when I say from the bottom of your heart in my cues in down dog, we're talking about a very physical space where the breath meets the beat of your heart, these two vital functions. So from the bottom of your heart, that space between your physical heart and your respiratory diaphragm, which sits like an umbrella inside your rib cage or like a jellyfish, rising and falling with the breath. Extend from that place at the base of your heart, out through your armpits into your hands, and really push into the earth. So we're getting a monster stretch through this vital space in our torso while we play. All right, keep committing to your hands. Push with your left foot, raise your right leg in the air. Bring your right knee to forehead, round your spine like a cat. Stretch your right leg long again. One more time, round your spine like a cat. Breathe, push with your hands, push with your left foot to get deeper flexion. Move your head in, and now stretch long. Right foot to the ground, push with your right foot now. Continue to push with your hands. And you know you're going from the bottom of your heart through your pelvis into your right foot, from the bottom of your heart through your armpits, which are staying lifted, down your arms into your hands. Raise your left leg up, breathe. On your exhale, flex your spine. Bring your left knee towards your forehead. Bring your forehead to your knee. Both of them are working. In breath, extend. I think we did this 3 times. Don't remember. I hope you do. How about once more after this one? Last one. Stretch your left leg long. Return your left foot to the mat. Inhale forward to plank. Hold plank and breathe. You're strong. Come on, push hands and feet equally. Bring your knees to the mat. Lower all the way to your belly. Claw the earth with your hands as you place your hands so that your wrists and your elbows are in the same plane. Lift your shoulders up to the height of your elbows. So you're already in like a baby bhujangasana, a baby cobra. From your pelvis to your feet, push down into the earth and squeeze your legs towards one another. Keep that hugging into you, and now pull your heart forward, and let's just play here. Rotate your left ribs to the right and look right, so you're twisting a little bit. In breath to center. Turn your right ribs to the left, look to the left. In breath to center. Breathe in, pull your heart forward, and lower all the way down. Rest your hands on your forehead. Rest your head down. Make a pillow with your arms. From your pelvis to your feet, press down and reach. Keep reaching, lift your right leg up in the air. Return through extension, your right leg to the mat. Second side, press down through your right leg. Reach longer with your left to lift your left leg up and breathe. Through extension of the left leg, lower it to the mat. All right, right forearm stays down, head stays on the right forearm. Extend your left arm out and up. You're coming onto ridge tops on your left hand and your left elbows up to the sky, so it's keeping the left armpit lifted. Press down through your left leg. Reach and extend and lift your right leg up. Your head might start to float up. Extend your left arm forward. Use your right forearm and push. So right forearm's in a forearm position, elbow to wrist to hand is pushing down while you reach from the center of you out through your right butt to your right toes, from the center of you through your left armpit to your left fingertips. Take another breath and then lower it all down. Left hand underneath your forehead. Right hand to ridge tops, right elbow up. So right arm's a little bit forward of the body. Elbow to the sky, elbow bent to start. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Press down through the tops of your feet. Keep anchoring and reaching with your right leg. Reach more with your left to lift your left leg up. As your left leg lifts and you push with your left forearm and your left hand down, you may begin to feel your torso lifting. Let it come up. Extend your right arm forward and breathe. Keep reaching from the center of you out through your left leg, from center out through the right armpit to fingertips. Another breath. Then as you exhale, lower your left leg down, lower your right arm down, hands underneath your head, bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs. All right, legs quieter. Lay your legs down on the mat, tuck your toes. Bring your hands by your chest wall, push up into all fours. Shift back to child's pose. From child's pose, rise tall to tall kneeling. So now you're in a kneeling position on both knees, upright, fully upright on knees. Take a big breath up. So some of you guys know this is the Bali seal sequence. Hips shift back towards heels, forehead goes to the mat, so you're returning to child's pose. And then your arms swim forward to come up into all fours. All right, so let's put that together. Shift your hips back towards your heels, arms reach forward, that's child's pose. Now just make a snow angel with your arms to bring them back by your side while you stay in the child's pose shape. On an in-breath, push with the tops of your feet, squeeze your legs together to extend your pelvis and rise up into tall kneeling with your arms in the air. There you go. Exhale, hinge your hips back, fold forward, forehead to the ground, arms back beside you. And then on an in-breath, the arms make the snow angel forward. Once your hands plant into the front plane, slide up into all fours. One more time, pelvis back, arms reach forward, extended child's pose. Arms swim by your side, snow angel. Big breath up, you're rising up into tall kneeling. Stay up here in tall kneeling, open your arms out to a T, and then clasp your hands behind your back. I'm just gonna turn around, you stay there, I'm just turning around. So I'm just doing a hand clasp in the back plane. Take one of your knuckles. I usually use my pointer finger knuckle and I work it to where my tail is. It's right where the split is, right at the top. And I'm not pushing hard. I just gently remind that tissue to draw down so that I can lift my heart up. Now squeeze your legs together and press down through the tops of your feet. Keep drawing your tail down and lift your heart up. As your heart goes up, it'll allow you to let the sides of your neck, tips of the ears curl back. Any amount. So you're moving into Ustrasana, camel pose. Breathe. Push down with your feet, squeeze your legs together, eyes soft. Head moves first, just to neutral, and then lift your heart up to bring yourself back into tall kneeling. Release your arms down by your side. All right, stay kneeling on your left leg. Step your right foot forward for a lunge. How'd that go? Did you have to touch the ground with your hands? It's all right if you did. All right, right leg back. Kneeling on your right leg, step your left leg forward. You know, underneath that kneeling knee, you can certainly have a pillow from your couch. You could have a blanket underneath your knee. Step your left leg back. So you know we're trying not to swing out wide. When we practice together, we're working on bringing the leg forward and back in alignment. So you have to flex your spine to take your right knee forward to the lunge. You got to add a little bit of cat in there, right? Try it. A little bit of cat. So spine is flexing. Look, my leg is still in alignment with my torso. And I step forward. Right, and then shift the weight forward so you land on your front heel and your back leg might extend a little bit. So we're moving into what's called Anusara. Some people call this proposal pose, like you're offering a dedication of love to somebody, a commitment of love and a proposal. All right, shift your weight back so your pelvis is now over your left leg. Flex your spine like a cat. Try your best to bring your right leg back without swinging it out to the side. Right, so the spine has to change so the leg can get back. Kneeling on your right leg, same thing. There's going to be a weight shift right. Spine has to flex. Bring your left leg forward. Yep, land in your left foot. And then shift your pelvis forward Yep, so you're coming into Anusara. Lift up through your heart. So if you were joyfully and playfully offering your life to someone, right? You wouldn't do it with a collapsed torso. You'd have your chest emboldened and blazoned and open. All right, push with your front foot, press down with your back foot, shift your pelvis back. Here's your spine move. Flex your spine. All right, left leg back underneath you. Take a big breath up. Exhale, bow, hands to the mat. Placing your hands on the mat, tuck your toes, push your pelvis up and back into down dog. Walk your hands and your feet towards one another. Bring your hands to your pelvis. In breath and come up. Release your arms down by your side. All right. Walk to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Step your right foot back. This time we're going to plant the right foot. So we're clearly in a Virabhadrasana 1 shape. Yeah, so the back foot slightly turning in. The left foot is definitely the front foot pointing forward. And then as best we can, we want to turn both sides of the pelvis forward in the direction that we're looking. To do that, sometimes it means we have to widen the stance. And it's often best to widen the back leg out a little bit. So your right leg, your back leg might step right a little bit. And then you can place your hands on your pelvis and turn your back pelvis forward. So your right side of your pelvis forward, right? And then you can draw the left side of your pelvis back. And that should orient those frontal hip bones in the direction you're looking. In breath, reach your arms up. Open them out to a T. Right arm in, left arm underneath. From the back of your heart to your elbow tips, lift up, and now we're just playing, all right? Keep pulling your feet towards one another. You're in the general form, and the rest is play. Keep pulling your feet towards one another, and take the head of the left shin bone forward more, so you're coming deeper into a lunge. Come on, head of the left shin bone forward more, but the back inner thigh, right inner thigh doesn't get to go with it. It's pulling back and apart. Right inner thigh, back and apart, left head of the shin bone forward. Now lift up through your heart. Lift up, lift up. Take your elbow tips up to the ceiling as you soften your gaze. Keep breathing, curl back any amount into a slight back bend. In breath, rise tall. Exhale, release your arms. Pivot on your back foot so you're in your big toe ball joint. Step your right foot forward. Does that give you a little sweat or heart rate? Give me a thumbs up if it did. All right, so standing on your right foot, step your left leg back. We're going into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So again, to orient the pelvis a little bit more in the direction that your heart is going, you may have to step your left leg over to the left a little bit, right? So that with your hands on your pelvis, you grab the back leg side of the pelvis, the left side, and draw that pelvic half forward so that your front hand, your right hand, can draw the pelvis back. And you can feel how that turns the pelvis, it turns your belly, it turns your heart towards your right knee. Keep all that. Now move your belly and your ribs back so it's over your pelvis, and then use an in-breath and reach up to the sky. Open your arms out to a T. Bring your left arm into the middle, your right arm underneath. Move from the back of your heart to your elbow tip. And now here's the big action. As you keep pulling your legs towards one another, also keep the left inner thigh broadening, moving back and apart, as you move your right head of your shin bone, right beneath your kneecap, forward. So the left leg doesn't get to go forward with the right. What this will do is take you into a deeper lunge on the right leg. The right femur will maybe hit parallel. Keep scooping your right buttock under. Lift up through your heart. Be brave. Be playful. Keep lifting your heart up. And as your heart goes up, the sides of your neck, the tips of your ears might curl back. Breathe. Keep breathing. We're just playing. Any general form of the pose that you have that's Warrior 1, you're spot on. Take another breath. Push with your feet. Stack your head, shoulders, ribs back on top of your pelvis. On an in-breath, open your arms wide. Exhale your arms down. Push with your right foot. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, take a big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana. Step back to downward facing dog, please. Bend your knees, tip sitting bones to sky. And as you push with your hands and your feet, draw your tail down lightly. It's not even a tuck, it's not a pelvis move, it's a tail move. We've enjoyed that discussion for many years together. So if you moved your pelvis, make sure you're not doing that. You want to keep the sitting bones lifted. And the tail is part of the spine. So if you just think about tail and the 9 muscles attaching there and that it's drawing down, what you'll feel is not really a movement of the pelvis, but a resulting action of belly will lift and tone. And now from the bottom of your heart, you know what that means, right? The heart and the respiratory diaphragm, right in that space. Reach long through your pelvis, down through your heels. Keep breathing. That's a vital breath. From the bottom of your heart to your armpits to your hands, extend. Take another breath cycle in this fullest expression of your down dog. And now walk your hands and your feet towards one another to come out. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Extend your heart forward. Inhale and come up. Woohoo! All right, stand on your left leg. Step your right leg back to just a staggered lunge. So it's not a big lunge. It's a short stance lunge. Left knee is bent. Weight shift into your front foot. Use your right inner thigh and pick up your right leg. Yeah, so you're just moving into Virabhadrasana 3. All right, soften your left knee a little bit more. Keep reaching back through your right leg. Touch your right foot down and stand. Switch legs. Stand on your right. Step back through your left. Shorter stance. It's not a big lunge position. It's a very short, staggered stance. Release your right hip so your right knee bends. Your right leg's responsive. Weight into your right heel so your right glute turns on. You got to feel that because you're going into balance. Begin weight shifting forward into your front leg. Firm and tone your back leg by pushing into the earth with it first. And that way, when it leaves the earth, it's keeping the muscle hugging onto the bone as you float your left leg up. So yeah, you're moving into a standing balance, heading in the direction of Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. All right, touch down through a reach with your back leg, landing back in that little short lunge, and then step together. All right, putting it together, guys. Arms up, arms out to a T, right arm in, left arm underneath. Step your right foot back into that staggered stance. So it's a very short lunge position. Weight shift into your front foot. Feel your inner and outer heel on your left foot, equally weighting. Big toe, ball joint, baby toe, ball joint, left foot, equally weighting. Now push with your right foot to tone the muscles of your right leg. Spin your right inner thigh to the sky. Float your right leg up as you expand from the back of your heart to your elbow tip. So yep, it is Virabhadrasana 3 with eagle arms. Breathe. Reach back from your pelvis to your right foot to land through extension with your right leg. In breath, torso on top of pelvis, release your arms. Hands to pelvis, step your right foot forward. How'd you do playing with that shape? Yeah? All right, let's try the other side. We're just playing. Right foot standing, left leg back in a short, staggered, mini lunge shape. Right hip released so that the right knee can bend. Breathe. Orient your pelvis towards your front knee. So you know that means like, yeah, belly to right knee. Arms up to the sky. Come on. Out to a T. There we go. Left arm in. You got this. Keep breathing. Right arm underneath. Stay with your breath and move from the back of your heart to your elbow tips. You're already in the shape, right? So anything else you add is just being playful. Root into your front heel more, the inner and outer edge. Root into your front big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint. 4 corners of the right foot committed. Now push with your left big toe ball joint and feel the muscles tone before you go to lift. And then when you're ready, weight shift into your right foot. Keep expanding, back of the heart to elbow tip. While you float the left leg up, so you're in Virabhadrasana 3, your variation of it with eagle arms. Take another breath. Reach out through your back leg, touch. Torso on top of pelvis. Release your arms. Push with your right foot. Step together. Take a big breath up. It's an awesome day. You had a very full practice. Big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Have a seat. So come down onto your bottom. Stretch your legs out in front of you for Dandasana. Yeah, I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see. All right, place your hands back behind you. Can you see that I've got my fingers pointing towards my body? Fingers pointing towards my body. Now bend your knees. Push with your hands, push with your feet, lift your pelvis up. Next breath, lower your pelvis back down. And we'll do that 2 more times. Push with your hands, push with your feet, lift your pelvis up. This is Kapsupada Pitham. So variation of a back bend. 1 more time. Feet push, hands push, head in neutral, eyes soft, breath flowing. Okay, and then return down. All right, you can stay with that shape, right? You can stay with what we just did with the knees bent, or we could move into this reverse plank. We're just going to do one. So you either have 1 more Kapsupada Pitham with knees bent, just like we practiced, or join me here, legs extended. You can see I'm slightly leaning back. My elbows are bent and they're responsive. However, legs squeezing together, toned, heels pressing down, and then from the core of the pelvis to your heels reach, from the pelvis up through your heart lift, so you've already got the back bend before you even lift your hips. Push down with your heels, push with your hands, lift your pelvis up. Your head can rest in neutral. It can look a little bit down at you. Breathe. Take another breath. Come on, press your pelvis up, push with your hands and feet to get your pelvis up. Next exhale, lower your pelvis down. Woohoo! All right, feet together at the midline. So bound angle. And we'll lean back for this one to start. So you're just leaning back, walk your hands back. You can even come onto forearms. So I'll turn sideways to show that. You can even lean back onto forearms. The forearms are down, palms down, knife edge, hand, fists, all are good. But you're going to push from your elbow into your hand. So that whole length is pushing, not just the elbow, right? So you use everything that's in contact with the mat. All right, walk yourself back up. And now press your feet together a little bit better. So bound angle, feet pushing together. And as your feet press together, isometrically draw your heels back towards your pubic bone. Fingertips are back behind you. I'm on ridge tops, right? So that I can lift up through my heart as I work with my pelvis. And now from your hip creases to your knees, extend out. Option, if this is good here, and if your knees are way up in the air, you know to stick pillows in. We've talked about that before. Pillows tuck in right here. The option is to forward fold. So you can walk your hands forward. Keep the actions of the legs, that's paramount. So both feet equally pressing into one another. Heels drawing back to pubic bone. And then from your hip creases out through your knees, expand. Take a couple more breaths. Allowing the back of you to fill with the vital breath. Walk your hands back towards your pelvis. Push with your hands to inhale and come up. Bend your knees, hold on to your hamstrings, and ease yourself down onto the mat on your back. I'm staying upright, so you'll just be following my cues. That's it. All right, so laying on your back, draw your knees into your chest. Both of them come in. Good. All right, release your hands from holding your knees, but keep your knees tucked up towards your chest. Take your arms out to a T, and now drop both knees over to the right. Both knees have dropped right, and they're kind of tucked up near your chest. Turn so much with your pelvis that both legs are now on the ground, right? So the right leg is laying on the ground, and your left leg is laying on top of your right leg. If it's a lot of stretch sensation or impingement in the left shoulder, just put your left hand on your pelvis. And now everybody confirm that left knee, right knee are stacked. So it might mean you need to extend through the left hip a little bit more to get both knees stacked. Keep pressing down with your right foot and extend your left leg out. So left leg is laying on top of the right leg, and we've just extended the top leg. You can use your right hand to support the right foot so it's not touching the ground. The right foot is held in the air from the strength of your leg. If this is good, stay here. You can also stay with the knees bent. The next option is to extend the bottom leg out. So now both legs are extended. And as you breathe, turn your right ribs to the left. So legs stay squeezing together. And now the rotation is happening through the torso. Right ribs at the base of the rib cage, turning from right to left. Then move up into your chest area, continuing the twist from base to top, right? That's a twisting principle in Anusara yoga. And even move underneath your collarbone and turn from right to left. Now, it doesn't mean that the right shoulder comes off the mat. It's still anchoring down, right? We're differentiating between a scapula, the shoulder blade, and ribs inside the torso. See with your right eye, turn your head to look left. Breathe. On an in-breath, head back to center. Bend your bottom knee first. If the bottom leg is extended, bend it. If your top leg is extended, bend it. Squeeze both legs together. Return to knees to chest. Even use your hands now and hug your knees in. Keep your knees tucked in towards your chest. Open your arms back out to a T. Reach from your heart to your fingertips as you press your arms down. And now on an exhale, take both legs. You're dropping into a twist to the left side. Land on your left leg on the ground with the knee bent. Now, if this is a lot of stretch for the right armpit, the right shoulder, or it's got impingement quality like numbing, tingling, bring your right hand to your pelvis and just place your right hand on your pelvis and get rid of that. That's like not necessary, not good. It's not playful, it's painful. Breathe. All right, for everybody, see if you can get your two knees to stack. And typically it's the top knee, and in this case it'll be the right knee, that is shorter. And what that means is you have to extend through the right side of the pelvis to the right knee to stack them. The progression of the shape is to extend the top leg. You don't have to. You could stay in the knee bend and work the twist from both knees bent. The additional progression is bottom leg also extends out. Now, bottom leg is fully on the ground, whether it's bent or extended. Both legs, whether they're bent or extended, are squeezing together. And as you stay with your breath, keep reaching from your pelvis to both feet, to both knees, and especially on the top leg, right? So that the top pelvic half is participating and you're getting a stretch through the right side waist and into the pelvis. Now add your twist. Left ribs turn right. Start at the base of the ribs. Move to the middle of the ribs. So with each breath cycle, you're encouraging the ribs to rotate, right? And you're waiting too. No rush. Even move underneath the collarbone. Under the collarbone, you've got a couple of ribs. Eventually, your left eye takes in all the information as you see with your left eye. Turn your head to look right. On an in-breath, head back to center. Stay steady in your legs. Bottom leg moves first. If the bottom leg is extended, fold it. If the top leg is extended, fold it. Squeeze your legs together. Everybody's in a knee bent position now. And roll onto your back, tucking your knees into your chest. Hug them in. You can even peel your head up to meet your knees and work both halves towards one another. Head to knees, knees to head. Rest your head down. Slide your hands up to your feet for happy baby. Use your hands to push down on your feet as your feet push back up. On your next breath, heels to glutes, Knees to the midline, feet to the floor. Stretch your legs out long. Rest your arms down by your side. Settle. There's a vitality in your breath. Awareness of your breath flowing in, nourishing every cell in your body. Awareness of your exhale. Releasing the waste product from cellular respiration. And now let all of it go and just delight in the breath as you rest.